Hi, this is Tracy Sparrowhawk here, and I have a quick question for you. Are you in network marketing and are you finding it hard to approach people and ask them if they're open to your business opportunity or your products? You don't know what to say or you say too much. Well, I have a really simple strategy here that I've learned through a couple of big names in the industry. Eric Worre, who wrote the book GoPro, a very good book on how to master the art of inviting people to look at your opportunity. And also Ray Higdon, another trainer who's given me some really good insight on how to ask as well. So I just want to share this with you because I've been in network marketing for about 6 years now, and it's been up and down, and it's time to move forward and keep moving forward. So I just thought if I shared what I'm learning with you, you'd help you as well. Now, first thing, if you want to check below in the comments section, there is a link to a training on staying out of Facebook jail, how to avoid getting thrown in Facebook jail. Because as we know, the algorithms change all the time and sometimes without warning. And Facebook does not like people selling stuff on their platform. They want people to stay on there and stay engaged with all the content that's on there, keep up with their friends and family. They don't want people coming on and being spammy and selling stuff. So if you've been thrown in Facebook jail, you want to check out this training so you can avoid getting thrown in jail again. So I hope you get some value from that. Now, like I said, I'm going to share the script with you, and I hope you get some value from it as well. And feel free to share it with your team if you think it will help somebody. It's an 8-step process that's really easy, and it's very duplicatable, which is something that we want in our business, right? We want to be able to teach and train others to do what we're doing. And if you go in and meet with everybody and you do a 40-minute presentation and you know all the ingredients in the creams and the lotions and the makeup or the shakes, then your prospect might be thinking, do I have to know all this? I can never talk the way she does. I can't present. So if you always want to keep in mind strategies that are duplicatable. And this is a great thing, a great strategy, because it also takes advantage of tools that your company or maybe people on your team have produced, such as a video or conference call recording or a book or magazine. So when you use those tools, it takes the pressure off you and lets the tool do the work. And another reason you want to use a tool like that is because it lets you talk to more people in less time. You're not sitting there explaining your comp plan and everything else about your company to your prospect. You let the tool do that, and that frees you up so you can go talk to more people. So, are you ready to learn this 8-step process? Good, here we go. So, the first step in this is you want to be in a hurry. So, this works whether you're online or offline. You want to be in a hurry because a couple reasons. Number one, it gives the impression that you're very busy, you got a lot going on, your business is booming. And number two, if you're in a hurry, then that means the interaction will speed up a bit and the person will be able to ask you a lot of questions and get you drawn down rabbit holes and maybe, talk themselves out of taking a look at it, right? So you'll want to be in a hurry. And that could be like, oh, I would love to chat, but I have to jump on this conference call, or I have a team meeting, or I'm meeting with a client. Something that gives the impression that you've got to be somewhere. The second step is you want to compliment your prospect. You want to find something that you can sincerely compliment them on, whether it's something on their physical appearance or the service they've given you, or the their outgoing personality. And if you're on Facebook and you're prospecting, um, excuse me, what you can do is go to the person's profile of the person that you're interested in and just look at their timeline and see what they've got going on. And you can find something there to that you have in common, whether it's kids, pets, food, travel. There's so many different things you can find to compliment them on when you approach them. So now, after you've complimented them, you want to make the invitation. Now, Eric Worre has a bit of a longer, like there's a few different scripts that he uses, and excuse me again, it kind of depends on whether it's a cold market person, somebody that you don't know, or somebody that you do know. The one I'm going to share with you is one that Ray Higdon I learned from Ray Higdon. And what I like about that is that it works with either or. So basically all you're doing is you're asking your prospect if they're open to taking a look at your thing and giving them an out. So what does that mean? So you just say, hey, would you be open? You can either say, would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? Or you can say, hey, I started this business. Would you be open to checking it out and giving me your feedback? Something like that. And you want to use the word open, not interested. Now, why do you want to use the word open instead of interested? Well, if you use the word interested, it doesn't really have a social consequence. Like people can be interested or not interested in something, and there's no social or psychological consequence to that. Whereas if you ask if somebody's open, the opposite of open is closed, and nobody wants to come off like they're closed-minded or closed to looking at opportunities, right? Most people want to be thought of as open-minded. So that's why you want to use the word open, not interested. So the second part of the invitation that Ray Higdon teaches is the giving them an out part. So you ask if they're open and you give them an out. So that would be like, would you be open to taking a look at a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? If not, no biggie. Like that's pretty much a message that I would send out on Facebook Messenger as well, because it works online or offline. And this really disarms people because there's no pressure, right? And when you say, if not, no problem, no biggie, no worries, you're giving them the opportunity to say no, and it doesn't bother you, right? Because you're already telling them, yeah, no, don't worry if it's not for you. So most times people will say yes. I very rarely do I have somebody say no when I ask it that way. So once you've made the invitation, given them the out, and they respond yes, then what you want to this is where you offer your third party tool. So you say, if you're using a video, for example, you could say, if I sent you a link to watch a video, would you watch it? Or if you use a book, you could say, if I sent you a book to read, would you read it? So this is where you take your third party tool and ask them if they would, watch it, read it, whatever. Now, most times, again, people are going to say yes, and it's pretty sweet. So if they're going to watch your video, for example, you want to get a time commitment from them. So then you ask them, okay, when would you have time to watch it? It's about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or however long it is. So then they have to think about how that would fit in with their schedule, and they'll give you a time and a day. So, oh yeah, I can watch it Wednesday at noon. So you say, okay, you can watch, if I send it to you, you'll be able to watch it Wednesday by noon for sure. And they'll say yes. So then you want to just get their time to follow up with them. So if you know your video takes about 30 minutes, you could say, okay, well, if you after you've watched it Wednesday at noon, what would be a good time to follow up with you? So then they have to think about again about how it works in their schedule. So if they say, oh, well, I'll be free around 1 o'clock, then you could say, okay, great. What is the best number that I can reach you at? So you get their number, and if you ask for a best number, then they'll be more inclined to give you a real number. Like some people might give you a number that they know they're not going to be at, or they might give you a fake number or whatever. But I mean, if you've done everything else in this properly, in this order, then they'll give you a good number. Excuse me. There, sorry about that. Now, okay. So now after you've done all that, you're in a hurry, remember? So you have to say, okay, that's great. I'll talk to you Wednesday at 1 p.m. I've got to get to my meeting. So the steps are, again, I'll just go over them real quick. Did that make sense? Do you find that helpful in being able to just have a little bit more poise and confidence when you're going to meet somebody? Hope so. But anyway, okay, so these are the steps again. I'll just go through them real quick. Step 1 is be in a hurry. Step 2, you want to give a compliment to your prospect. Step 3, you want to invite them to look at your video, read your book, whatever, and give them an out. Step 4, once they say yes, then you say, if I did this, would you do that? And if they say yes again, then you get a time commitment. Say, okay, and get them to check their schedule. Then you want to confirm that time commitment. Then you want to get get a time when you can follow up with them and their number. And then you want to be on your way. So if you're out, if it's an in-person meeting, you say, okay, I've got to get to my meeting now. Thanks so much. Again, if it's on Facebook Messenger, hey, I got to run now. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. So, excuse me for that. My throat is really bothering me. Anyway, I hope you found these tips helpful. And don't forget about the Facebook training to stay out of Facebook jail if you have ever found yourself in there or you want to avoid going there. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, just feel free to do so. I'm going to be posting more videos here on how to build your network marketing business. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.